Welcome back, everybody, to another edition to the Runaways podcast. Today, we're going to be joined by the homie Killer.
Yo.
Also, we got Logan with us.
What's good, y'all?
And we got Bryce and me, the whole crew.
What's good?
Rest in peace, Ayana.
Rest in peace, Ayana. She will always be remembered.
She got bit in the titty by a rat. It's very tragic. But in today's episode, we're going to be talking about something a little more serious. Last podcast, it was a late night with me and Bryce, and we gave our opinions on the George Floyd killing and just the violence and protests that has erupted in our country. And today, we're going to be, getting everybody's opinion on it. We got some questions to throw out there for everybody. So yeah, let's jump right into it.
Before we get into it, I want to take a shout out to our website, www.Runaways.inc.com. And thank you for supporting us and showing us as much love as possible. I really appreciate that. And all right, let's get into it.
Shout out to Anchor.
Shout out to Anchor.
I think my take on it so far is that, I'm going to start with the protests because with the George Floyd killing, right? I feel like he's our generation's equivalent to Rodney King. I feel like there's a lot of people who have become martyrs over the years and have been murdered by the police. That it's caused outrage, but for whatever reason, the murder of this man was just different. Just symbolically, somebody standing, kneeling on your neck until you die, in front of a bunch of people and just recorded, and you're pleading for your life. That's just I don't know, that image. I don't know, it's pretty haunting for me, and I know it is for a lot of people, and I think that's partly what's caused a sort of different energy, just enough is enough. We want him to be the last one to ever have to be slain by the police, and I think it's a similar thing back in the 90s, where I mentioned, I think he's our Rodney King. I know that video of just a man being beaten bloody by the police, just senselessly, is really telling of the state of our country. And I think it relates a lot to George Floyd, and I think that's why there's so much outrage and a different energy this time, right? It's not just one city that's pissed off, it's the whole country. You see peaceful protests and violent ones and everything in between all over the United States.
It's the United States, the whole world is angry.
Yeah, that's facts. It's it's had ripple effects throughout the entire world. And
I think that's enough.
Facts. And I don't know. First and foremost, I don't know if I don't know why I keep saying I don't know. I know that Trump is not equipped to handle this, just because of I feel first off, he's a racist, so that's gonna make it difficult for him anyways, and he's just not ready to open up to the people's wants and needs. And I think that's why the protests have gotten so out of hand in some places. Personally for me, I feel rioting is a valid form of protesting, but I also feel it's some situations have been out of control, right? It's one thing if you're looting a Target, and it's another thing where you accidentally burn up part of a children's hospital, because that shit has happened, and it's crazy. It's truly crazy. When you're hurting so many innocent, it's different from looting a store and a hospital or housing. That's different. That's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? Or so I don't know. I feel it's a hard thing to really measure, right? Because you don't really know where the line is until it's been crossed. And I think the media are using these extreme examples, an accidental burning of a hospital or housing and shit like that, to make the whole protest seem less valid than it actually is, and kind of distract people from what's actually going on. And I don't know, I think it's just a dangerous line we have to tiptoe more carefully, just moving into the future with this new movement. This country, man, we've all had this coming for a long time. We knew shit was going to pop off eventually. I mean, too much anger, too much blood has been spilled. I mean, the entire economy of this country is built on the backs of our ancestors, bro. This was going to happen eventually. And it has happened before in the past, but like for our generation, this is the first real like, you know, like it's not the first as I can say, but like the first time the energy is just different. You know what I'm saying?
Change.
Like we've had the movement, we've had like we wanted change, but now we're demanding it and now we're taking it. Versus like we're willing, you know, like versus we were asking for so long and now we're demanding it. It's different, you know?
Right.
Either we get that now,
too.
or this won't stop.
Simple. It's really that simple.
That's crazy too, because I told Logan earlier today, I'm like, yo, times is changing. This is a crazy world we live in right now. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And so Logan was like, yeah, but it has changed. And I'm like, well, I feel like me personally, I feel like every generation has its own change. You feel me?
Yeah.
And this is just so happens to be this generation's change, which I hope actually impacts, you know what I'm saying? Impacts stuff in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The way it's going right now, and depending on how long it is, I actually do feel like it will make a big, huge change, like a difference in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But shit. Oh yeah, and did you guys? All right. So did you guys hear about? I forgot where it happened at, but on the news, and like it's been surfacing all over social media. These people were like protesters. Protesters were rioting. And the policeman that was out there on the front lines or whatever, right,
Mm-hmm.
was shown to be kneeling down to the protesters.
Where was that at?
I don't know, but it was on the news, and it was like Palm somewhere. If you guys know, drop it down in the comments. But I swear it did happen. I asked my mom if it was legit, and she said yeah, she saw it too. So yeah,
I've seen multiple stuff like that where like even some of the National Guard troopers have I saw a video where a National Guard trooper like threw his clip out of his gun and crouched down next to a crying protester.
Yeah, and that's what's up, man. That shows our common humanity. Cause like I feel like a lot of these protests, like a lot of them have a lot of anger behind them, but the anger is more destructive than constructive, right? Like I feel like a lot of people are just blindly angry at the police instead of like trying to work towards something. And I can understand both sides. Like I was just at a protest yesterday, in Ann Arbor, where like we were marching with the police and we were actually intercepted by a counter protest that was just blindly angry at the police. And they had valid points. I'm not gonna sit here and act like they didn't have valid points. And then somebody came out of our crowd, walked up to them, and basically was like, bro, we all want the same thing, like march with us, you know? And
right.
Some of their group actually exactly, and some of their group actually came off with us. Granted, some of our group went with them, so it kind of, you know, it's difficult. But I just think like in a way it's kind of immature just to be blindly angry at the police, because it's like I understand why, and I understand like this is ridiculous and we need to hold them accountable. But at the same time, bro, there's only one way to move forward, and that's together.
Exactly. Open your hands, not form fists. Open your eyes.
You got that off Google quote.
I feel like we should all form fists together. You feel me? Like I feel like the whole world should be one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
To be honest, bro, I really feel like this shit, not the protesting. I'm not talking about the protesting. I'm talking about racism itself. I feel like this shit got crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy because people out here all right. So people was out here thinking that racism didn't exist. You feel me? So that was like, that by itself was something, right?
Yeah.
And then this just proved like all those people wrong. And my bad, I'll edit that out. All right. And like I said last episode, I'm gonna piggyback off of what Corey said. I feel like it is pretty weird that people are just blindly angry at the police. You feel me? So I feel like that's why as I said last episode, the end of last episode, I said don't be ignorant. Know your knowledge. If you want to participate, it's better to participate with knowledge. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like with hard, stone cold evidence. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't agree with some of the protesters or some of the policemen, tell your reason why and then evidence behind it. Don't just blindly say I don't agree with you because you're a police. You know what I'm saying? Like That's not really a reason. You know what I'm saying? So just know your facts.
Yeah. And everyone's had different experience with the police, bruh. And like I mean, I personally have never had a negative experience with a police officer, but I have multiple family members who have, right? And I have a nigga who I have an uncle who's locked up because of like, you know, like I don't know. It's just like, bro, I don't like the police. I'm gonna be honest with you. If they don't scare me, they piss me off, you know. And even I was like willing to march with them. And I feel like a lot of people have that same sentiment because like we know that there are lots of bad police out there, but we also know that like realistically we still need them.
Exactly.
Either way.
But okay, so like,
Right.
I'm gonna get ready to do my part right here. So I'm the only white boy in the entire group. I'm a white boy. I'm as pale as they come. I've been through the trenches with everybody. I don't care what race you are. I've been through the trenches. I know what it's like. Not knowing your next meal is coming, right? Not knowing if one of your parents gonna be home tonight. Not knowing if you're gonna have a bed to sleep on at night. Not knowing what your food is, you know? I've been through that. I might be white, but I ain't got no privileges. We're supposed to fight as brothers. Don't kill each other. Fight along, you know, raise your hands. Don't raise guns and swords and fists. Raise together, fight together. Things will change.
Preach.
For sure. That's real shit, bro.
Yeah,
Nigga said
a lot of
swords.
people gonna judge white people.
Right.
A lot of people gonna blame white people for all this. Like the white man did this. The white man caused this. The white man is the one who put all this on us. The white man was causing oppression. Fighting and causing more violence will bring change, but not if you keep blaming one race.
I feel like no, I'm not gonna say that because I don't really feel like that.
Generalize all white people. I mean, of course, a lot of white people are bad. I'm not even gonna try to cap to you. As you can see, the president is white. The most racist person I've ever seen in my entire life.
Honestly, bro, I feel like a lot of white people aren't bad. I just feel like sometimes, like, I think it's an unconscious bias, and I don't blame them, bro. Because it's like, especially the niggas who like grew up in like places with no black people at all, right? Like you grew up in fucking Wyoming or Maine or some shit out in the middle of nowhere, and with no black people, and all you see on the news is that they're criminals. Then that's what you're gonna assume, and I can't even blame you for that, bro. Because that's what the media teaches you. That is what you're taught by your country, by your surroundings, that these people are dangerous. And even like, you know, like,
that's just
and what do you exactly? And like, but like, you have those people who think that way have to be able to realize that that's just simply just not true.
To teach them that not everyone is bad.
Right?
That's up to us.
It's just like
show them the goodness in people.
Mm-hmm.
Not have them like generalize that everyone is like a criminal or everyone is like a bad person. That everyone, like, if you see like an African American person, oh, they might rob me. I'm gonna have to put my head down like when they walk into the same side of the street. I don't want to hear nothing like that come out of anybody's mouth. We brothers, we all came from the same womb. We all on this earth for a reason. So why you get scared when an African American person on the same sidewalk as you? Why you get scared when a white dude in a hoodie walks past you?
And it's just, yeah, bro. We just need more of that mentality, that like unity, bro. Because it's just like, I think there's this like, and I can't. So like, it's socially right. I think there's just social privilege that every white person has with just like the whole identity thing, right? Like if like a white kid walking down the street with his hoodie on, is like niggas gonna look at him and be like, oh, like that's an athlete, like he's a student athlete, like he's just, you know, doing his thing. And like, you know, like, but a black kid going down the street with a hoodie, he's gonna be like, that's a little suspicious. But like, you know, I'm gonna let him, you know, like, I don't know, just like mentally, I feel like there's always gonna be a little
like,
privilege.
My bad for interrupting, but like that's that mental profiling. That's that mental racial profiling. And that needs to stop too. That's gotta stop. That's gotta go.
Facts.
That's just gotta go.
All right, so what do you think is like one step closer to getting to that spot where we can all like unite as, you know what I'm saying? Like all that teamwork type stuff, right? What do you think is
like a step towards like more racial unity?
Yeah.
Logan, you seem like you were on a tear, so like I'm gonna let you spit, bro, and I'm gonna follow you up.
All right, so like to get rid of that, the like mental profiling and like the whole racial profiling in gaming, it's to straight up, flat out prove that whatever race you are, black, white, Asian, I don't care. You aren't a criminal. You're not a bad person just because your skin tone. And I seen a video earlier today on Instagram. A little black girl was crying for her parents, and the only thing she said in the video, in tears on her knees, was I could die because of the color of my skin. That made me sick and wanted me to blow up. How dare y'all make a little kid cry like that? Just because of the color of your skin, you're going to judge her? Sickening.
Logan.
I'm not going to
Logan, I'll let you get in a second. But this is what I'm talking about with this, like, socially, the differences, man, between being white and black. Because I know, Bryce, I'm not sure. I feel like your parents have had this conversation with you. I know my parents have. And I know this has kind of been brought up to death with, like, the speeches of, I got to go home and explain this to my son and da-da-da. But you really do have to do that, though, man. Like, it is really a different thing.
Bro, I wanted to touch on that so bad the last episode.
Because, like, that happened, for me, that happened after Trayvon Martin, right? Because that's when I was old enough to start, like, doing things on my own. Or I could be out when the street lights are on or some shit, right? So, like, I was like, I was like a preteen or whatever. And my parents had sat me down and been like, basically, this is how you're supposed to conduct yourself around a police officer. And the only thing that's similar to that I've heard is that's how you're supposed to conduct yourself around a wild animal, right? Like, it's like, don't make any sudden movements, don't make eye contact, do whatever they say. Like, like, it's shit like that. Like, basically the whole surviving the encounter.
And the craziest part too? I saw on the news a few days ago, right? There's this, like, a mom, right? She was a mom. And she, like, as you said, having that talk with her child. And she was on the news saying, I'm always telling my children to stop and listen to the cops and do all this good stuff that you're supposed to do so you won't end up getting shot. You know what I'm saying? And she said that she can't even do that no more because the people that actually did stop and listen to the cops still got killed. You know what I'm saying?
When's it gonna end? When is the cycle gonna break?
That's why personally, for one, this is why I don't share this podcast with my family, because I don't want them to know everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them to know, because, like, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And the one possibly negative run-in I've had with the police, I was running from them niggas, and they did not catch me, bro. And the reason I was just terrified, bro. I was sick as fuck when I heard them sirens, bro. Because, like, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, like, realistically, these people they could just be normal police officers and see, like, oh, these some kids at a party. Like, let me just, like, whatever, arrest them or take them home or take them to the police station and let their parents pick them up. Some shit like that, right? Like, that's probably what was going to happen. Right. But I wasn't going to take that chance. The fuck? I looked at my little homie. My friends had been gotten to the car. They were gone. I told them to do that. Like, I told them, like, bro, like, y'all go. We had some females with us. So I was like, bro, get them out of here. Like, get them gone. Like, get them out of here. We don't know what could happen to them. I'm gonna take my little homie and we're gonna like hop some things, get out. And that's what we did. Simple. And I'm not gonna lie, like, the cars were, like, going around the neighborhood. It was bad, bro. It was bad. But they weren't, like, pursuing us personally. They were just pursuing anybody who was coming from there. And like, it was terrifying. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, that's been my only personal interaction with the police. Okay, sure. Running, is it the best thing to do? No, but, like, bro, like, I don't know. That's literally what I've been taught, bro.
Well, like, my sister recently went out to protest. She was out there with a couple friends and all that. And I think it was down in Ann Arbor. There was a protest down in Ann Arbor, and she was part of it and all that. And, like, the cops were marching with them, which I think is crazy.
Oh, yeah, bro. I had just talked about that. I was at that.
Yeah. And, like, of course, like, not all cops are bad, especially like what Killa said. Not all cops are bad, you know? Not all cops are like white pigs. Not all cops are like really old white people. Not all cops are really bad. Not all cops are killers. But, like, okay, so that video that I was talking about before I said I had to go, about the little black girl crying, and, like, the last thing she said was I can get killed by the color of my skin. That is sickening to me. That's sickening. Honestly, that makes me sick to my stomach. having to see that. I mean, she was in tears. She was shaking and on her knees crying so hard. That's not right, bro.
And to piggyback off of my bad for interrupting, but to piggyback off of what you said, I remember one time I was really young, right? And this is one of the times where I actually did experience racial profiling, right? And I told my mom, right? I'm like, yo, I wish I wasn't black, right? I actually said that. No disrespect. I was young, you feel me? It's not because being black is bad or whatever. It's just because we get messed with so much. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, like, I remember sitting down and having that talk with my mom. And my mom was basically saying, no, you don't wish that. You know what I'm saying? Being black is awesome. You feel me? She told me all the pros about being black. But she also did sit me down and, like, told me all the cons and about the history. You feel me? And because of that, we watched the movie Roots. And I went, this is kind of weird, but I went back to the Roots, right? And from there, I worked my way up. You feel me? And I just, bro, it's crazy that this has been happening for, like, so long. And there's still people out here, like, actually, A, that actually thinks it doesn't still exist. And B, that actually it does.
This world's got to change.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Things gotta change. Either this is the final push that we need to start something new, to start a whole new world where everyone is free, everyone is here, everybody's in unity, right? I'm white as snow. I'm gonna be straight with you with that. I don't see color. You black, you my brother. If you Mexican, you my brother. If you Asian, you my brother. I don't care.
I remember, even our elementary teacher, Logan, you was with me, even our elementary teacher, she had to have a talk because some person said something racist, right, in our class, and they got sent home, and she had a talk, and she said, and she's not white, she's Jewish, but hey, it's, you know, she wasn't black, you know what I'm saying, and she said that she doesn't see color, everybody's just gray to her, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like everybody needs that mentality. Obviously, in realistic terms, it's not gray. She can see color. She's not colorblind. You feel me? But I feel like everybody. I feel like everybody.
Yeah, her point is there's no color. There's no black, white, anything like that. You're a human being.
There's only us.
There's only right. There's only like what you just said. There's only us. We need more people like that. We need more people that will flat out be like, there's no black, white, Asian, Mexican, or anything like that.
But if I'm being honest, I feel like by everybody's train of thought in the social media, you feel me? Because the media is not making this any better. You know what I'm saying? On both sides, the cop side and on our side. You know what I'm saying? And it's not making it any better. So I feel like the world that we live in today is probably a start to making the world like that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that for like a while. You know what I'm saying?
I've always had a problem with the color blindness type of ideology, mainly stemming from like ignoring a problem will never make it go away. So like while it is like nice, it's like kind of a novel idea to me. Like, you know, I'm not black, I'm not white, I'm, you know, like, who cares? I'm just a person. But in reality, it matters a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very important social construct that we've established that race matters. Like, we've already established that, so we can't act like it doesn't. Because, like, you know, but real talk, I feel like it's important just to remember that, like, these cultural differences are very prevalent, and we can't ignore them.
No, but what were you saying, right? When you before you left, or at least what I was saying, right? I said that I feel like being colorblind, basically, right? I feel like that, like, eventually would happen, either we like it or not. But I feel like it won't happen in this generation or anytime soon. You know what I'm saying?
That won't happen for hundreds of years.
I know that's what I'm saying. It won't happen for this generation. It won't happen for a while. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like genuinely, I do feel like it will happen someday. So I feel like everybody just needs to keep having that mentality of having, because basically what we are all fighting for is equal rights. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it is like very. I feel like it's very important that we keep pushing the way we do in order to making that change.
Sure,
you know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Like I feel like that's the
everybody needs to
goal
go in
we're
with
trying to
that
reach,
mindset.
but we can't act like. I love that. I love like the idea. Do not get me wrong. Like I'm not trying to call y'all like naive or anything. Do not get me wrong. I just like I love the idea, and I think that's the goal we're striving for. But we can't act like we've already made it there. That's my thing.
That's fact. That's fact.
Because,
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
You speak it for fact, actually.
But I feel like we should keep the mentality that we are making a change. And
let's keep the mentality of we'll get there one day.
I wanted to.
Let's keep the mentality that if we keep pushing, it will happen one day, just not today.
One thing I really appreciate.
Right, I want us to be able to cross.
What I really appreciate about you, bro,
you know what I'm
is
saying?
like, because when I've heard people say that colorblind shit, bro, that has felt so phony to me. But like when I hear you say it, because I know you, bro. I know you outside of this, like, you know, like I've talked to you on multiple occasions, right? So like I'm aware that that's really how you think, and that's really how you live your life and carry yourself around other people, you know. And I think that to me is just such a beautiful sight. See, like somebody who actually carries themselves that way and actually thinks that way and doesn't just say it. Because damn near everyone I met, because that's why I hate the phrase colorblind so much, because every person I said has been so phony with it, where they actually do, and they do actually treat me different, but then they claim to be colorblind. I like some get out shit, you know. I would have voted for Obama first. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like my bad, I mean to interrupt you, but like when I say this stuff, I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. I don't care what race you are my brother. That's why I click with you so easily. I don't even know you like that. Like I never knew you outside of this or anything like that. Like, in person, I never met you. But me and you tight like that. Cause we brothers. Simple as that. Things gotta change, y'all. Get your check.
Exactly. I feel like we have to crawl in order for other people, in order for the next generation and next generation to walk.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Honestly,
saying?
bro. I think right now, we're walking right now, bro. I think the generation before us was like, I think they were the ones who were
walk.
They were in the mud, bro. They had segregation and all that, bro. They were like down in the trenches, bro. And now we're kind of like maybe like crouch walking. You know what I'm saying? Like we
gotta walk. So the next 100, maybe 200 generations from now,
they out there running. Everybody's on the equal playing field. Everybody's running through the race of life together. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
I think my goal is.
We gotta walk through the big
My goal is for us to like by the end of my lifetime, I at least want like as long as we're running with this metaphor, I want my kids to be jogging. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be jogging. I just want progress. I want to be able to see it.
For real.
Like how they some Jim Crow laws and they could see the changes that they made. I want us to be able to get rid of these police problems or these economic problems or just something substantial that I can see the change to the next generation.
By the end of my lifetime, I want my kids to be able to like sit there and be able to call whatever race of their friends family. I don't care if they Arab, Black, Mexican, Asian. I don't care. I want my kids. I'm white as snow. They're gonna be white as snow. I already know that.
You go
America. I want them to be able to hold hands with them.
He gonna marry.
Yeah, I feel like that too. You're gonna marry a black woman, no cap.
You're probably right.
But hey, I do feel like I feel like that too. But I also do feel like it depends on what you guys teach your children. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the same way as me.
Because if you teach your children, because I feel like if you teach your children, and this is not just for you guys, I feel like if everybody teaches their children to start hating police and hate white people more, you feel me? Well, not more, but you know what I mean. Like if they start, you know what I mean. And I feel like if they keep teaching their children that, or start teaching their children that, I feel like we would start walking backwards. Because that's just two races hating each other now. You know what I'm saying?
Things gotta change, y'all. I
think that's why, like earlier, when I was talking about like I had run from the police, the reason I had done that is because I was taught nothing but fear of the police my entire life. That's all I ever been taught, was to fear the police. because like there was no like it was never a question. Like no one ever said like there are good police, there are bad police to me growing up. It was like the police are dangerous and they will hurt you. It was nothing, and I know so many people have been taught that.
All right, let me ask you something.
For sure.
All right, let me ask you something simple.
Do I?
Do you hate the cops now? As a fully grown, like, and now that you're able to like do stuff
now
for
that
yourself,
I think about it, I don't
police?
hate the police. No, I never hated them, bro. They used to scare the shit out of me. In a way,
Are
bro,
you still scared of the police?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I get like a little jumpy when I see the uniform. Like I feel like, yeah.
I mean, who don't?
Yeah,
who don't
for
when
real.
you hear the sirens?
I don't fear them like I used to, bro. It's like a tension that I feel. I just feel like I don't feel comfortable when I'm around police officers, but I'm not scared of them. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm being honest, bro, and this is just me genuinely being honest, with all the stuff that I'm seeing in the media and on the news right now at this moment, I am kind of scared of the police.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's just me being honest. You guys could disagree or hate me or whatever, but for me personally, I am scared of the police because, all right, just the other day, right,
Mm-hmm.
we were walking or whatnot, right? Well, no, all right, just the other day we were cleaning the garage, right? And then we heard sirens coming. It sounded like it was coming past our way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So me and my brother, we hurried up, got into the garage, bro. Like we were scared, bro. And then like when we heard that they weren't coming our way, that's when we like came down the street and looked. You feel me? Like we looked to make sure like, hey, it's there. And they, no, all right, bro. What the hell?
It's that jumpiness.
Like
that okay. The uniform and the sirens, just knowing that they got a gun, knowing that legally, which is sickening to me, that makes me want to vomit saying this out loud, that legally they can shoot someone and no one can do anything about it.
That is true. I don't know where you were going.
Honestly,
at
it makes
first with
me
that, but now that I do it,
you said
I don't cry easily
because you said it's the gun and like the uniform and stuff that scares
they could be
you. But like
somebody.
for me, bro, it's the gun, the uniform, and the skin tone. Like when I see a black cop, it's a whole different feeling for me. You know, when I see a black cop, that's the feeling I think I'm supposed to get when I see a police officer. I'm supposed to be like, oh, it's whatever, it's just a cop, I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna act like it's not different. It's very different. I see white police officers and black police officers completely different. Because when I see a black police officer, I see like a little overweight with a gun who looks like my uncle. You know what I'm saying? And then like with a white cop, I just see somebody completely different. I see someone who could hurt me. And honestly, that's just what I've been conditioned to think.
I mean, okay. Did y'all hear the story of Lil Wayne? My bad for interrupting, but did you hear the story about how Lil Wayne shot himself when he was young? I like the term Uncle Bob for a white cop. Like a fat white cop who doesn't believe in color. So Lil Wayne shot himself in his chest when he tried to kill himself when he was really young. They bust down the door to like raid his house, right? All the cops, they were all black, except for one. All the black cops jumped directly over his body and kept walking, kept moving. It took one white cop to stop and be like, yo, what the f*** are y'all doing? So the video that I watched, Lil Wayne said, he ain't take me to the hospital and like, hey, take him. No. He took him to the hospital room and stayed with him until the doctor said that he was going to be okay. And the cop's name isn't actually Bob, but he told Lil Wayne, he said, it's all right, just call me Uncle Bob. That's why I like the term Uncle Bob. That's a white cop that's not racist, that don't believe in color, that's been through the trenches and know what it's like. Feel for every race, no matter what race you are.
That's what's up, bro. I ain't never heard that story. Let's just take a moment to appreciate
earlier.
Because we need people.
Yeah, that is what's up. I actually,
for real.
Yeah, I haven't heard that either. All right, so me personally, to answer your question, well, I mean, I already answered it, but to add on to what I was saying earlier, to me, I feel like it's not even the skin color that makes me scared. You feel me? I feel like, to me, it's the law that makes me scared. The law of the police. You feel me? Because if they're doing something to you, you legally cannot jump or touch the police if they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that. So if I'm out here on the floor, like, you know, George Floyd, you know what I'm saying? If that, God forbid, you know, terrible thing, but if that ever happens to me, I'd be scared, or I'll be crying because I know there's nothing that anybody can do.
That's kind of like what I said. It's the thing that
You
they
know
can
what I'm saying?
legally
And that-
hurt you, and no one can do nothing about it. That's the part that's
Exactly.
sickening to me. Is y'all gonna protect these cops that will literally be on the job and like hurt innocent people, innocent minorities, innocent people that are just trying to like cooperate. Of course, some of us are gonna cooperate because it's jumpy, knowing that person has a gun on them and can legally put one in you, and no one's gonna do
And
nothing
that is
about
something.
it.
That's why, because I heard something about like with George Floyd, right? I've heard a lot of people express the opinion that they feel the one cop that killed George Floyd is the only one who should be charged. And to my opinion, I don't think that's true at all, because there's 3 other cops there, and they were guarding the perimeter to allow it. No, there's 4 in total, but it was 3 cops that were guarding the perimeter and allowing
My bad.
that police officer to kill him, right? For real,
so
because
all
like
4 people
even
should
if
be
someone
charged.
wanted to intervene, first off, they couldn't because it's a police officer. But like, if they wanted to and they had the guts, like they were ready to, there was 3 other cops to shoot him, tase him, capture him, do whatever. Like they were protecting him as they watched him murder George Floyd. They knew damn well what he was doing is wrong. Just like my man knew what he was doing is wrong, because he's on suicide watch now, bro. Because he's getting so many death threats, and he knew damn well what he did was wrong.
Don't protect that pig. Let him do it.
I feel like he still knows what he's doing, though. I feel like, to be honest, I feel like
He's on suicide
because he's on suicide
for our
watch,
protection.
as you said,
Because
right?
they
It's a
know
suicide
people
watch, right?
try and kill him, and they know
I
he
feel
could
like
try
the
and kill
only reason
himself.
I think it
I
was
feel like-
as of yesterday morning. My bad.
I feel like I literally feel like that's him trying to protect. I feel like me personally, I feel like he knows what he's doing. I feel like that's his way of protecting himself by saying like, "Oh, I could kill myself," or "Oh,
Yeah.
other people could kill me." Which I'm not saying that people will listen to him, that person. People won't kill him.
Okay,
So,
maybe it's
but I feel
wrong
like
for
he
me
knows
to
what
say
he's
this,
doing with that,
but
you know what
don't
I'm saying?
protect that pig.
Yeah,
Don't put him on suicide
man,
watch. Let
for
him.
real. I know it's a little wrong. Like, you supposed to whatever. When they go low, we go high. But for this instance, bro, let's go a little lower. Like, just leave that man alone. Let the people do what they do.
Right, like maybe I'm wrong for speaking out like that. Maybe I'm wrong for saying that. But in my opinion, let him rot. Let him do it. Take pictures of his body in the morning.
For real, bro. I don't know what the pictures, but like,
That's a little.
no, but I feel that same energy, man.
I want proof. Maybe I'm wrong for that. I want proof.
I don't know. Sometimes like it's that like raw anger versus like constructive anger. It's that balance of having both, because both are necessary to really like move a movement forward. You need to have, and I think like it's difficult because I feel like the raw anger part of all of us is like kill him, like some type of death sentence, or like just let the mob outside his house just go to work. Like we all have that kind of terrible instinct, and the reason I call it terrible is because it's like that's no better than what they would do to us. You know what I'm saying? Like that is not okay to like kind of think of like murder, like society accepting a murder. That's just as bad as if we saw the George Floyd video and be like, whatever. You know, I don't think that's right. I think it's right that he's convicted in a court of law,
Right.
And like he rots for the rest of his life. I think that is like honestly, that's just more acceptable.
No. He ain't get a life sentence. It's the part that angers me. My man's ain't get a life sentence.
Yeah.
That made me mad. Give this man life sentence. He took a life. Make sure his is taken back.
They did increase his charge. I'm not sure exactly what the sentence is for second degree, but I know that third degree is 5 to 15. So I'm pretty sure his sentence is at least 20 to life.
Yeah, I was about
Something like that. With no, I think it's 20 to life with no parole or something like that.
They should have given full life. If y'all gonna ask me, I think they should have given full life.
I think they still can give him the max charge of 20.
To be honest, I feel
They
like
can.
I'm not sure if they will,
can.
and I'm not sure if that's actually true. I don't know that for certain, but like I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
They should.
For real.
They should. I don't see why not. He took a man's life. Make sure his gets taken again.
I don't know, but I think that's dangerous, bro. To like I think it's dangerous to like flirt with the idea of like vengeance, you know, because I don't think vengeance isn't constructive. While it might be while it's definitely deserved, and it's definitely something we're all thinking, it won't lead us to a better future in the long term.
If anything, to be honest, I feel like it'll just keep going back. Well, I don't feel like that. I feel like if we do take vengeance, you know what I'm saying? I feel like
the last thing we want to do is have black people on one side and the U.S. government on the other side, because like it's already kind of like that. It once it literally was that, and now it's kind of getting to that point where it's like we need to like make sure that it does not go there again. Simple.
We're not trying to have a race war. We just want justice for one man. Is that too hard to ask?
This is about justice for a race, and hundreds of men, thousands of men and women that have been taken away from us by the police. This has become.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this has become something bigger than George Floyd.
About multiple causes.
Which, not to disrespect him or anything, but like this is the culmination of because everybody who's been taken.
News, not to cut you off.
Yeah, you're right. This is like all the anger put up. Yeah,
exactly.
He was just the final straw.
One, bro. Simple. Like that. I think that's a lot of people's opinion and anger. I feel like I've said a lot of my thoughts on this killing, and I just want to emphasize the biggest thing we want. I think the biggest thing that this new wave of protests and riots and like, you know, media outcry and everything. I think the number one goal that we're all trying to accomplish. And even though it's unrealistic and it probably won't come true, but for him to be the last one, for this to not ever happen again.
He's got to be the last innocent black body to drop.
For him to be the last bit of strange fruit hanging from the tree of America, we want him to be the last one. I don't want to ever see a lynching again, because that's what this is, man. It's a lynching. It's a killing of a black man, and I don't want to ever see that again. I don't want my kids to ever experience that or see it. And shit, man, I mean, the way my life is going, I don't know, bro. Like I'm the outspoken black man. That's just like where I'm going in my life, and I don't want this to happen to me. Not just because obviously it's painful and I don't want to die, but it's like also I don't want my family to have to go through what George Floyd's family is going through. You know, that is a horrible thing, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
The world's got to change, y'all. It's got to change. If it don't, what's going to be the final straw? What's going to make it break, huh? What is going to be? What do y'all want? What are the racists and the people who don't believe in like Black Lives Matter and all that stuff? What do y'all want? Y'all just got to stop. Easy as that. Y'all gotta stop this stuff, man. Y'all look dumb right now. Y'all look dumb as ever. Killing innocent black people, killing innocent people of minorities. Y'all look stupid.
They know it's wrong.
They know it's wrong, but they were raised to think it's right.
They do.
People have just really deluded themselves into thinking that black people are human, that we are less than. And I'll never understand that. And that's James Baldwin, bro. Like the idea that people have deluded themselves into thinking we're not human. It's crazy. It's truly crazy.
Y'all are as human as anyone. Y'all are as human as I am, and it's the next guy in. And I'm sick of people thinking that just because you're a different skin color, you're not a human. You don't deserve to be here. I'm sick of hearing that.
Yo, to be honest, bro, I agree with Corey, bro. This does have to stop, and I want this killing to be the last killing. I doubt it will, but hey, you gotta have faith. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want my kids to grow up feeling like they have to hate themselves. They have to hate the skin that they're in. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, at the end of the day, bro, they're gonna be there. They're gonna be them. Feel me? So if they hate their skin, they are hating themselves.
so
blame for
proud
this cause,
of just
for
like
it being
the
bad,
people
you
of
know what
our
I'm saying?
generation, right? Who, because everybody knows what happened with the Blackout Tuesday and how a lot of people were trying to black out Instagram, which is like the little black squares, right? And I'm so proud of like of accomplishments like that, because it's like we're using the tools we have in the modern day to help spread our message even farther than they can ever reach. You know, because I'm sure back in the civil rights days, they heard of like what's happening in our country around the world, but nobody really felt it. You know, no one could see videos. You know, like even when we were talking to random people, like Alicia, she knew well what was happening over here. She knew some stuff we didn't know just from all the news outlets and all the Instagram information, right? Or like I have a homegirl in Paris. She was out here protesting, bro. They had thousands of people in the street shouting George Floyd's name, bro.
Right, like I said, it's not just one group of people. Like, it's not just one country.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole goddamn world, y'all. The government gotta figure out, hey, we want this to happen.
Because they serve
not
us.
what y'all giving
The
us.
government serves our interests. And I think no, but that's what they're...
They don't serve us.
No, but I'm saying
They
that's
serve
their
what
job.
they
They
give more
serve
money.
us, bro. They forgot that. I feel like a lot of politicians have forgotten. I'm not going to generalize. I'm not going to generalize all politicians, but I feel like a simple majority have forgotten their true job, and that is to serve the people of the United States of America. And I think that's what these riots are doing. These riots are waking those old ass politicians who got complacent, who got used to just winning elections easily. And I think that woke them up to be like, yo, y'all need to start doing your jobs again. Because what you're doing right now ain't it. Some pretty speeches and, you know, little hashtags on Instagram is not going to fix. Like, you guys are the only ones who can really pull us out of this long term. We're doing all of this to get your attention. You need to step up and do your job.
And you know what? I want to end on that note because we could ramble on for hours more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I have a lot of questions myself, but I'll ask that at the end of the you know, when we call later. So I want to take a real quick shout out to everybody that's been supporting us this far. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Keep commenting, keep liking. You know what I'm saying? I remember somebody commented that this spoke really deep to them and that they feel like we should speak about this more.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like this, let us know. I added a poll on our most recent video. I'll do it again for this video. Shout out to our website, www.Runaways.inc Go on there and give us your reviews. If you're not watching this on Spotify or on YouTube, then I encourage you to, because that's where you can find basically all the interesting shows. I mean, you can find all the shows around.
Yeah.
That's where everything is. That's where the links. Exactly. That's where the links are. That's where everything else. So, on that note, I want to say, everybody have a good day.
Hey, reach out to your local representatives. You can reach out to your senators. You can call them. You can make a difference. Everybody can. All right. With that, love y'all.
Make that